Well, he died in the service of his country, and his efforts went unrecognized until now. James Cermak should have received a Purple Heart, but didn't.
That's right. So his family began asking why, and they ended up with an answer and a lot of gratitude.
TV5's Jonathan Jackson live in Elsie to explain why. JJ.
Well, that's right, guys. The family of James Cermak, also known as Jimmy, finally received his Purple Heart after he passed away while serving in World War II over 70 years ago. And here today at the American Legion in Elsie, well, they held a special ceremony in honor of his service.
I hope he's watching up there over us.
After her brother James Cermak died while serving in World War II, Mary Mead was left with nothing more than memories. He was a private first class in the U.S. Army back in 1943. But after receiving a letter of his death from overseas, his family received nothing else for his service.
There was never really a funeral for Jimmy Cermak. There was never anything given to the family. And ultimately, they didn't know that they weren't being treated like anybody else. They thought that was the end. It wasn't.
Gene Nathaway is the commander of the American Post Legion in Cermak's hometown of Elsie. He says he was approached by Mary several months ago when she heard of another veteran's family receiving posthumous honors, saying this type of situation is common due to the lack of communication back then. Immediately, Nathaway reached out to Congressman John Molinar, who was more than happy to oblige in his search for Cermak's Purple Heart.
We want to assist in honoring our veterans in every way. It's a way of honoring their families for their sacrifice, but it also speaks a very powerful message to future generations that this kind of sacrifice will not be forgotten.
And neither will the gratitude Cermak's sister has for those who helped in awarding her brother his proper honors.
I'm so grateful that everybody came to remember my brother.
And you know, another heartwarming part to this story, that photograph Mary was holding of her brother, well, it's the only one she has. It was actually taken from an old newspaper clipping, then resized and framed for her here today, giving her something else to remember her brother by. Reporting live here in Elsie, Jonathan Jackson, WNEM TV5.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you, John.